that such legislation espouses bigotry and discrimination against that Muslim community, and it will be challenged and fought within all groups who believe in truth, fairness, justice, and that is important for the community, for themselves, and for the country as a whole. Some of them are here today, and as soon as we do this part, they will start in the seminar, and those seminar speakers, when you will be introduced, you will know that they have done what we are doing today. It only tells you that in this country, not only African American, not only the Latinos, not only the immigrants, not only the minorities, it is also the incumbent upon South Asians, as we call us the brown people, to come forward and to discuss issues that we face. In the aftermath of this presidential election, I think a brother who is also a speaker today will tell you what he thinks. He thinks that everybody was flipping a coin expecting a head or a tail. But unfortunately, the coin landed on the edge. It is not a head, not a tail. So we are in that dilemma. We just cannot give up. We just cannot let them define us. It is our time, our moment, our opportunity to do more than ever before that we have done since we landed in this country. I say this always, and many politicians and those who are in power say this always also. It's very simple. We may have come from 8 different countries as South Asian. We may came by plane, by ship, by crossing the borders, which is a serious issue. I know you heard that the president-elect is going to have a 2,000 miles long wall, which will be big wall, long wall, and so on and so forth. But apart from that, however we landed in this country, whether today, yesterday, or now, we all are in the same boat. If we don't represent us, if we don't define us, the time will come that the very government that we have in this country today, when the freedom of speech was an ornament in this country, when the people want to express their ideas is an ornament in this country, when the freedom of people, of religion is the attraction of this country, then we have someone we have just elected. Position-wise, we have respect. But the idea-wise, it is our promise, ASAAL's promise, that we will continue to fight every day, every moment, every month, every passing episode of our life in order to challenge the Trump's administration, because if he wants to enroll the Muslims, if you want to go back what has happened in the 40s in this country, when the Japanese were brought to a place, whatever he does, it does not matter. We just don't have the time to say, let us see what happens. We now need to be ready, and with that call, this Alliance of South Asian American Laborers 9th Annual Convention is urging everyone, not only South Asian, those who came from other communities, before us, after us, and now, let us come together, work together, challenge together, so that we all can win together. With that, I welcome you to this convention. It will be a wonderful experience. We have 2 resolutions. I will not take very much time just to read you the resolve so that you know what are in the resolutions. So the first one, it is in your book that we provided you in the materials. The first one, we could not stop candidate Trump, but we must stop President Trump. So it has many, many whereas. I want you to read them. And when you go home, you will know this is the challenge we are taking. So the first resolve, therefore be it resolved, the Alliance of South Asian American Labor ASAAL strongly denounces the hateful and divisive rhetoric of Donald Trump. Be it further resolved, ASAAL denounces any actions of racism that may be taken by Donald Trump and his supporters. Be it further resolved, Muslim Americans, Mexican Americans, and any and all immigrants groups have a right to be respected and treated fairly and enjoy and partake in all aspects of the American dream. Be it further resolved, ASAAL will do everything in its power to fight Donald Trump should he engage in racist and divisive behavior against South Asians, Muslims, Mexicans, immigrants, women, minorities, or any other group that has suffered oppression in the past. Be it further resolved, we will not let anyone be abused by any other American, no matter what his position, power, or level of wealth is. Be it further resolved, the ASAAL politically mobilizes its membership and their communities in areas wherever possible to protest against President-elect, Vice President-elect, and his cabinet members due in part to their discriminatory beliefs. And be it further resolved that the international ASAAL executive issue a statement against any forms of bigotry by the candidates and the religion freedom restoration. In any abstention, so ordered. Ayes have it. The second one. No to Constitutional Convention in New York. I will not read the whereas. I want you to read them so that you know what is Constitutional Convention is. So I will be reading from the resolution conclusion. Therefore, members get involved with the local chapter, stay active in the community, educate them about what we are facing, inform them on the important issues, surround all the community groups, religious groups, labor groups, and work with them together to stop this upcoming constitutional convention, which is 2017. Be it finally resolved to all statewide elected officials, including Governor Andrew Cuomo, to stop a constitutional convention for the year 2017 and approved by the National Executive Council. Do I have a motion?
Yes.
Do I have a second? In any extensions order, ayes have it. I am now calling all the chapter presidents and secretary and executive director to come forward on the podium. Yes. Yeah. After I come here. Yes. Yeah, we'll say 2 minutes what they have done and what they're expecting to do.
Thank you. Thank you, Makbai. It's very extremely kind of you to be giving me these opportunities, and I like it. Truth of the matter is that that's constitutional resolution. Everyone remembers that, because when you go out from here, I would like very much that each and every one of us carry the burden of that message all over the place, because we do not want a constitutional convention. No one should be voting yes for it, please. Has everybody understood that? That's my message. And on top of it, I'd like to point out that our Staten Island group has done an excellent job. Mr. Karim Chaudhary and Mr.
Karim Chaudhary from the Staten Island chapter.
Thank you everyone. Chapter's activity in Staten Island chapter. Thank you Staten Island, and thank you all other chapter people who came here attending this. On South Asian people, as you know, about 40,000 South Asian lives in Staten Island. Out of 40,000, about 30 to 35,000 are South Asian, and most of those are not registered to vote. So based on the available information, what we did, we are creating a big database for Staten Island. It's called ASAAL database. So registering all the people and getting their information and communicating with them, and we are conducting group meetings every week in Staten Island. And we have now a lot more information to address the issues. And we are organizing our people so we can voice our concern together, not individually. So to this effect, I do want to say that most of the credit goes to my good friend Abdul Ali Ansari. He's the executive director, and he will say a few words. But and we have some politicians, including our assembly member Michael Cusick and other people. We would like to say our political leaders from Staten Island for coming here in this event. Thank you very much. We appreciate. And some other issues, Mr. Cusick also addressing many issues that we are concerned of, including the Verazona Village toll and other discrimination in Staten Island. Now all the way from Staten Island. And we have to show our unity so we can work together and do something good for our community. Thank you.
Thanks, Ms. Baudin. It is a pleasure for inviting all of you as well as to give thanks to all the distinguished guests, political leaders, union leaders, ASAAL members, fellows. I am the Brooklyn chapter president and I have been involved with this organization long time. This is not only for me, for you or individually. Things about this country, about USA. This is a country of opportunity, but most of the people cannot get that opportunity. If you analyze the world scenario as well as the US scenario of the economy, 3% people of the world controlling 97%. Billionaire becomes billionaire and poor becomes poorer. But USA should all the people of this country should think about that. So ASAAL, although is from 8 countries, but it is not for only 8 countries. It's for all the countries of the world as well as for all the immigrants of this country to follow this sample. Because poor become poor, rich become richer, billionaire becomes billionaire is not the objective of this country. So I would like to encourage you, we have to involve with the associations like this. We have to organize more strongly. Because
we say some things about you. Thank you, Brooklyn chapter, Queen chapter, and Staten Island chapter. Thanks for this convention on behalf of. Thank you so much.
Queen's chapter president Khan Shaukat.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Khan Shaukat. I'm the president of Queen chapter. ASAAL is doing so many jobs, great jobs, under the successful leadership of our great national leader, Mr. Ms. Baudin. Please give him hands.
Good evening, everybody. I would like to thank all of you for attending here, and also I would like to thank especially Mr. Ms. Baudin. He is organizing this since 2008, and at the Manhattan chapter, we are trying to organize our South Asian.
Good evening, everybody. Everybody has taken so much time to explain what they are doing, we are doing. So I just want to tell you one thing, that I met Mav maybe in 2000. So he had a dream to organize South Asian people.
I'd like to give my formal greetings, but I wanted to make sure that I came here today, no matter what neighborhood, no matter what country you come from, no matter what your nationality is. Here in New York State, we strive to be one community. We strive to be one community, to work together, to help those in need, to help our neighbors, no matter where they may be from. And that's what ASAAL does. And I want to thank you. I want to thank you because we have such a great organization on Staten Island, and I am proud, and I am here and paid the toll to come over to Manhattan today to pay homage to the folks who represent ASAAL in the Staten Island chapter. At the highest levels of government that may try to knock them down. It's not a defeat in the sense that they will not destroy the members of the labor union and our community. Allowing me to offer my greetings and to protect our families, our neighbors.
We have council member Ines Deacon. She's no longer council member after December 31st. She will be assemblywoman from Harlem. Corinne wants that all Staten Island people to come on the stage.
On the board, whoever
Who are in the committee
please come on.
of the Staten Island chapter, please come on the stage. Not only for the Staten Islander. He is doing, in fact, everyone in this city. And in the state assembly, he's a voice nobody can deny. So, with that note, he's with ASAAL, and ASAAL can go anywhere.
Does anybody want to take a picture of me?
Thank you very much. It's great to be here. And has anybody heard of South Asian life in the United States of America? I can tell you, right after the election, I was very depressed. It took me an extra hour to get into work on the Wednesday after the election. And as I walked down the streets in Jackson Heights, I could see on the face of the people that I represent the fear that the presidency of Donald Trump brought to their face. And the only thing that I could do as the elected representative in that area was to reassure my constituents, the residents in my district, that we will continue to fight. And I know that the rhetoric of Donald Trump has been very harsh. It's been harsh toward our Muslim communities, our Latino communities, our immigrant communities in general. But I'm very proud that in the past I have stood with all of those communities, and particularly with our South Asian and Muslim communities. Back when Republican Congressman Peter King was holding hearings against the Muslim community, against alleged Muslim terrorism, I held a rally in Jackson Heights and held up a sign that said, "I am Muslim too." Now, I'm not Muslim, I'm Christian, but we must all identify with our Muslim brothers and sisters, because an attack against one of us is an attack against all of us. And that is what unionism is also about. And I was a New York City public school teacher for 25 years before I got elected to the city council. And I know the effect that this administration is going to have on education.
He is the newly elected president of the News Guild of New York, Local 31003, the Union for News Professionals in America's Media Capital.
What do you got going on? Just forget about it altogether. So, the moderating will be Jennifer Rajkumar, Esquire, District Leader of Assembly District 65, Human Rights Lawyer, ASAAL, PRO-EIO.
But here's some underlying good news and what gives me hope. There were 5 South Asians elected to the U.S. Congress this year. It's a historic number. So there are glimmers of hope if we look closely. So I wanted this panel of expert, incredible organizers. Everyone here has an incredible resume in organizing. So I want to pick everybody's brain about how you think the minority community should organize and the ways of
organizing and organizing. One is I want to compliment the South for not actually calling it organizing non-union members. And I say that because a lot of our union folks aren't organized, even though they might be unionized. So I want to just take 2 seconds to walk you guys in a very linear fashion. And when we go through school and we go through life, we are taught to believe that there is a top of the power structure, and then there's, I think power-wise, we say while there's a power structure from the top down, I can challenge my existing power structure that continually leaves us powerless. And if we don't critically challenge that, in the sense of looking at a Donald Trump and seeing the number of other companies.
Thank you so much for those insights. Very valuable.
Hello, everybody. My name is Eduardo Rosario. The topic here, the challenges, and my brother Fareed said, I think it's very important that we are mindful of how we organize our members. Also, how we engage in organizing in the community and in forming partnerships and alliances. Because what we're really talking about here is not just organizing the traditional way that many of us have been taught back in the day, but doing social movement organizing. And I think this is especially critical considering what is about to happen on January 20th. Because also we need to be mindful of what our next steps for protecting and securing our communities in the wake of an ensuing governmental onslaught from a Trump administration. Those politicians that represent those interests, the last thing they want to see labor in the community in alliance do is to have the very response in organizing as one.
Early on,
and that's
in my career as a young organizer, is that we never stop organizing. Organizing never stops. And so, if you look at the last 3.5 weeks of suffering of the presidential election, 2008, Labor, the Democratic Party, we stopped organizing. The Democratic Party said to most of us, and I was included in that, we have to pick 16, knowing well that our current president, let's talk a little bit about new organizing. And what do we do with new organizing? Well, we meet with this part and we deal with the particular issues that affect them, that they are passionate about. And the one thing that we all, as organizers, put on the line. After we organize, we so often find ourselves of all of the contact up until when we need them. So let me say this to folks in the room. The challenges of organizing and unorganizing, like for 15, a show of hands. See, that's one of the things, brothers and sisters, the real power of organizing labor workers, whether it's a direct effect to you, whether you're organized of Donald Trump, the hatred that we have been introduced to, and so many.
James to ASAAL. So thank you, and please accept our wishes on this very special occasion. Thank you.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you very much.
The moderator is Mr. Anis Ahmed, former Commissioner of the Maryland Governor's Commission on South Asian American Affairs. Also, as the moderator is Ali Najmi, Political Action Director of ASAAL.
And former Commissioner of Governor's Commission on South Asian American Affairs. I had the privilege to serve governors for 2 terms, 8 years. And I also have been attending this event for last several years. Let's give a big round of applause to Mr. Mahmoud and many others. Let's give a big round of applause to these people. Our session is, by the way, first of all, let's go to our either mute or turn off. We will work together to help to make this session very successful. This session is after of the 2016 presidential election. Perhaps you all know that who won the election and who came to this congressional seats, and how many, and the Senate seats. We all lost. And you also know that rhetoric, remarks, and statements by Donald Trump, and also and in Maryland, 17% against Jews, anti-Semitic. So this is This is very shocking news. So we will discuss
Today, one of the leaders in the community in New York City and labor unions, Henry Garrido of DC 37, has been thinking long and hard about this. I'm excited to hear what he has to say. I want to thank him again for. I want to briefly just introduce each of the speakers. We have the Honorable Ron Kim, Assemblyman from Queens, with us today, who I know is on a very tight schedule. I'm going to allow him to say a few words and then leave. And why don't I get started?
A number of these type of gatherings and meetings for us to fully, to continue to stay motivated and really push back right after the election. And the shock that has resonated around, not just in this country, from the last couple of minorities that we haven't seen in decades. But I think, we all knew that racism had
the healthcare system, and we have to be working hard together to fight back, to make healthcare truly universally available, financed fairly so that it's not coming out of on the backs of working people who can least afford it. I grew up in a labor household. My mother was a New York City school teacher who was a member of the union. Even before the UFT was formed, she went back to the old Teachers Guild. So I know from the dinner table as a kid the importance of the labor movement.
Not too far away. Let me tell you how I got here. I got into this very place in 1978. Victor Gabon, Lenny Roberts, and Norman Alice were the leaders in those days. We were challenged in those days by the Ed Koch administration. This is a new challenge, that's all it is. Are we going to step up to the plate? That's what's important. Now, I also cannot stay here too long because I have from a group of very important visitors from the great windy city of Chicago. A hero from the Vietnam War fighting to preserve and defend democracy. Well, when he started hearing from Muhammad Ali, that Muhammad said, I ain't going to war for nobody because those little brown people never hurt me. It was not them. And then when he was welcomed back home, not as a war veteran, but as a Puerto Rican facing racism in his hometown, his kid brother didn't understand that. Jose Lopez, you can see and I hear from your leaders what we need to do.
To speak to you. I myself, as a member of the Teachers Union and now as a supervisor member of the Administrators Union in the state of New Jersey, just to give you a brief background about my political experience, I ran for office in 2001, 1 year after receiving my U.S. citizenship. And obviously we all remember what happened in 2001, and because of my name, Muhammad Khairullah, as mayor. And I'm honored to be here among the distinguished guests. Just to give my quick remarks right now, and obviously will be based on who you talk to and opinions, but we know on the surface that his rhetorics are definitely not in the favor of, but I believe in general, and I'll go into details later, that just like there's consequences, there's obviously were shortcomings that happened that led to the election of Donald Trump. However, we need to plan ahead for the future, and I'll go into details later on how we could combat his actions or his administration.
Please. Please, thank you. Brothers and sisters, we have good speakers here. And I would ask you that since you are in our home, that you give them the respect, not just for me, for the others, please. Thank you. Which was something that the students did a lot. And for 28 days, no one knew whether we were going to see him alive or not. Fortunately, he made it home. And when Trump runs as President of the United States or denouncing Trump, we turned into an organizing model in this union. And I'm going to offer the following suggestion as to how do you move forward. remember and remind people that is something that we need to stop talking about, because it's wasted energy. We need to have our energies turned into a positive that we could turn into something more. At least 43% of labor union members voted for Mr. Trump. I was talking to a union leader 3 days ago. When many of our members were looking to endorse Bernie Sanders, many of us did not begin to listen to our members and then to use what they're saying as a way of collectively organizing.
He is one of the best controller ever seen. Now, while I am office who audit the city is my union member where I am the president. New York City's 5 retirement systems over $100 billion. Not only his money power, but only his before he get elected here in Scottish Street.
Thank you, Mark. I accept your nomination, and I will be back in 5 years. First of all, I want to thank Mark for that tremendous introduction, and I want to tell you that he has been such a leader for the union membership in our office and for the city. And of course, I want to also recognize this great panel, but in particular, I want to recognize someone who's not just a union leader, but is a true progressive activist. I've never seen him introduced as such a young man, but I think that's probably the best introduction he's gotten in a while. So let's give a big round of applause for Henry Garrido, who has done a great job in this city, holding all elected officials accountable. And let me also say that the 9th Annual Alliance of South Asian American Labor Convention, this convention has never, ever been more important. I don't have to tell all of you, because the panel is making it very clear, that when we woke up the day after that election, many of us, myself included, were shocked. I couldn't believe that when he opened his mouth during the campaign, the people would embrace the hatred, the anti-immigrant statements. Quite frankly, my wife who's here with me tonight, we went to the first debate and we both walked out and said, well, this election is over, Hillary's won, because this country will never, ever, ever embrace something that is the anger and hostility of a different generation. And how wrong we were. But I am done with looking backwards. We've got to look forward. We and this city have got to lead the rest of the nation in recognizing that we stand with each other. Because let's face it, when they come for one group, what do? They come for the next group, and the next group, and the last group they come from has no one else to help. We as Muslims and Jews and African Americans and Latinos, new immigrants, people who speak 170 languages from 200 countries, they must not divide us. If there's a hate crime, we must be there no matter what. If they come for one of us, we must be there at a Muslim registry. There's something else we also have to recognize, and as controller, I just want to give you 1 minute about what the Trump presidency and a Republican Congress could mean for New York City. We could lose up to $7 billion in federal funding. Henry, when you look at the agencies that would be impacted, what shocked me, and I did not know this, was that the agencies that provide the services for homeless, the agencies that do the child care work, the agencies that look at education programs, those agencies are funded by federal dollars. In some cases, over 50% of programs come from federal dollars. So when they talk about cutting federal funding, they're actually going to attempt to cut the safety net in this city. We have got to play chess. We have leverage, we have independence, and we have the backing of the labor movement to go out there and make sure that we protect the people who we have always invested in. And that is something that I'm proud to tell you. So as you work in this convention and hear from the panelists, I want you to know that I am very proud of our friendship. Many of you I've known for now quite some years. We've had our meetings. We've been to let's use this power by voting, by participating, but also working together. They will understand that they, as a people, will truly be one, whatever their background and whatever their religion. We've got to do that for the next generation. That's what I'm going to do. I want to present a commendation to the Alliance of South Asian American Labor for nearly a decade of devoted work to support and represent South Asian American communities around the 5 organizers and working on the important issues of fair wages, workers' rights, family leave, promoting civic participation, and these seminars and conventions that are empowering people in the city. I now give you my proclamation that I know means more to you than just about anybody here, except me, ladies and gentlemen, the Controller Proclamation.
Officers, can you come forward quickly so that we can take a picture and go? Please, sorry. Thank you very much, really appreciate it. Okay, we continue our panel and then...
Those elected officials. Our next speaker, New York City Chair.
When we're discussing the aftermath, you know, I've been doing a lot of thinking about
We
what
are
happened.
included as a we. Now you look at your right and your left. When I say we, it means the immigrant community. We need to get our South Asian people from Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, all the Southeast Asian Muslim caucus. I don't want to take any more time. You guys run for your assembly, run for your county, run for your local state, and in the Republican area from the Muslim American community nationally. Brother Mayor Khairullah, please stand up. This brother Mayor Khairullah, this is our mayor dialogues. Go organize, and organize. And
I understand the contemporary history very well. I'm a student of political science. I wrote a book on entrepreneurship. I understand many things and I can take that credit. But we should move beyond. We should move beyond. It is time for peaceful coexistence. My friend who came with me and my friend from New York, Mr.
And I say this because we say all the time that we didn't have enough turnout. Over, she actually may have more votes than Barack Obama had.
We're going to be watching this new president. We're going to be watching this new president and watching him very closely. One of the things that we're concerned about, and I think Henry alluded to, is the appointments to the Supreme Court Justice. Those appointments will have lasting effects. We're going to be watching that with the utmost scrutiny. I really have to applaud those people that have already come out and issued some really strong statements with this, as well as let me also acknowledge my good friend Moth, who extended the invitation.
South Asian American Labor Organization for your great work, and today in the borough of Manhattan, it is
the South Asian community has made great strides, but we need to do more for you. And you need to get organized, and not only do we need to work together.
We've heard a lot of speeches. I just want to reiterate that the city of New York is going to stand firm with the Muslim community. And
I want all those who are standing, please take your seat and listen for 4 minutes. We are going to honor 4 distinguished people, honoring him as Labor to Labor Leader of the Year at the 9th Annual Convention of New York, December 3rd. Of course, Mahmoud is the President and Nitania Chatterjee, PhD, is the Convention Vice President. So let us come to this side. And on, look at No, everybody should say. Just spread it out. Okay.
The life we once had. I would like to send greetings to the...
And I think we have, here is the last from the bell. Yes. Okay, here we go.
Hold yours down so I can see your face.
Okay. Is there ASAAL leaders around here? All those ASAAL leaders can come on the stage. I know everybody is eating because you are hungry.
Thank you so much and sitting here today. I thank ASAAL leadership, Mr. Mayor Mesbah.
Wonderful. Thank you.
মেইনটা দেন না আগে বুঝতে ভাই আগে তো বন্ধুরা বোঝাতে যাচ্ছে আপনি ওটাকে তাকে দিচ্ছেন এই জিনিসটা দেখেন না এখন টেবিলের ওটা রেখে দেন না
I know that is ঠিক আছে হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে এটা সুন্দর হবে দিয়ে দাও দিচ্ছে এরকম
just a second
Okay, just take a picture, that's it. Whoever is there, that's
right, should I go to hand?
Recognition award from ASAAL, and I'm very grateful to them. You know, any award always help us to go further. As we did it for 5,000 people who were immigrants and they were earning minimum wage. $20,000 per year to $120,000 per year. So now 5,000 people have opportunity to make six-figure income in the mainstream. Every year, U.S. government has 65,000 H-1B. They are bringing from all over the world.
Including Senator Roxanne Prasad and Councilman Radenchik and Councilman Lansman and our Senate Democratic leader in the state Senate, who I hope will become the majority leader in the state.
Anybody is speaking.
One of our good friend and guy who helped me always in the Muslim community and first Muslim senior center in Jamaica Muslim Center. And I go
it's December when we get to go to the ASAAL convention and to be with our good friends Maf and Zeta and all of the folks who I get the opportunity to represent.
Nothing can happen in this state without her authority. Nothing can pass in this state.
I'm glad I didn't tell him I was coming because much. It is our 9th annual celebration, convention, dinner. It is my first time that I am here, but not because I am not always with the fight. But we also understand that in order to be the servants of the people, that we are, the labor community, vendors, taxi drivers, airport workers, for having us and letting us speak. Thank you. And to compliment you on the great work that you're doing. Congratulations to the two honorees. They're very special people. Congratulations to Matt and his board. May you continue to grow from strength to strength. And I look forward to so thank you again and have a great evening, everyone. And now here's Marisol.
On the 9th celebration of your convention. And like we said, this is about a time we have elected a white supremacist to the labor activists to move this country forward and to make sure that we send a message that there's no
Mafa, where are you, Mafa?
Yes, I'm
right there. It's good to be home at DC 37. My mother.
ASAAL. I'm here to, of course, congratulate you on this wonderful event that you're having. No matter what is going to go on in the next few years with the new administration.
We wanted to make sure that we came here to show our support for everything you guys are doing.
Representing Assemblymember Rodney Bishop from the 42nd Assembly District. She apologizes that she was not able to attend this citation very briefly. It says, whereas the Alliance of South Asian American Labor sees as part of its mission to fulfill the dreams.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Thank you. I think we're doing that. Okay, very good. Okay. So Democratic Party himself selected as the chair of the PAC in Atlantic City. This is the first time a South Asian.
Thank you, Mr. Mark Milbande. Here tonight. Sorry, too late. We came all the way down Atlantic City to here. It's heavy traffic out there. I'm not to speak long, just few words. We did introduce little bit since last year to this time.
Donald Trump is president, but I tell you, give a message to Donald Trump. 2015 is Donald Trump is family leader. We make America. Who make America?
We make America.
We make America. Everybody speak. No make America. Only Donald Trump can you.
In busy life we came here. I don't want to spend time and anxiety for everybody else. The thing is 2016, the election year, we supposed to win our national election.
For NYC Council District 2, she will be the candidate for next year, Councilwoman.
For about 25 years now, and we've been attending so many events in the South Asian community. I've been learning a few Bangla words, which I will continue to work on so I get my pronunciation correct. But this is so exciting for me. I'm a candidate for New York City Council, Council District 2, next year, 2017.
All leaders here, but today not my speech. When I coming, my committee, I invite everybody, Georgia, thank you.
ধন্যবাদের সহিত জানাচ্ছি যে আজকে আমরা এইমাত্র আসালের অ্যানুয়াল কনভেনশন শেষ করলাম। এতে আমাদের 39 জন ইলেক্টেড অফিসিয়াল কনফার্ম করেছেন এবং এসেছেন। এর মধ্যে বিশেষভাবে উল্লেখযোগ্য নিউ ইয়র্ক স্টেটের কন্ট্রোলার, নিউ ইয়র্ক স্টেট ডেমোক্রেটিক পার্টি হেড স্টুয়ার্ট কাজিন, নিউ ইয়র্ক সিটি কন্ট্রোলার স্কট স্ট্রিঙ্গার, New York City Public Advocate Letitia James, and many others elected officials came and spoke on our behalf. Not only they spoke about the issues that the state face, city face, they also spoke about the issues that as a South Asian, as a Muslim, as a minority, as immigrants we face. Our goal was to make our issues as their issues. Our goal was to make our agenda as their agenda. This 9th convention has done that, and we strongly believe that by them knowing our agenda and our issue, we will be able to go forward and nothing to fear, only organizing and work should continue in the coming days and months. See you in the next few times.